G'day people, this is Sharpino here. Welcome you guys to another Pokemon Pocket video. So, as you guys, if you play Pokemon Pocket know, we now have ranked battles added to Pokemon Pocket, which means a lot of people are grinding and a lot of people are getting ready to take it to the next level as far as the competition. Because now we can actually compete against each other for the first time since the game has been released. So, after looking at all the new cards and looking at the variety of cards that we have available, to us, because there's quite a bit of variety, because we've had now like 4 or 5 releases since the inception of Pokemon Pocket, the question now becomes, what is the best deck that we can bring to ranked battles? So there's a lot of options I could have brought. I've seen a lot of people use Giratina and Mewtwo. I've seen a lot of people use Druddigon combined with Darkrai, combined with other decks like Magnezone and what have you. But there was a deck that I saw that I personally felt could have got more of a sort of an interest, and that was Beedrill EX. Now, for those of you who don't know, Beedrill EX is a new EX Pokemon that came out from this new Shining Revelry pack. As I was saying, rivalry my pack opening video, so apologies for that. Beedrill EX is Stage 2 Pokemon. It has 170 HP and it has the attack, which does 80 damage and discards an opponent's random energy when they do an attack. So Beedrill EX I feel like can be pretty good in this format because it can attack but it can also weaken them in the sense that it can take away some of its resources for the next turn. So if they have to waste an energy to retreat or even use attacks, then Beedrill's attack is going to be so good for this. Now, I figured since Beedrill is going to be the star of our deck, we need to have a good support for Beedrill. And a Pokemon that, looking through all these sets, I felt would be good to heal our friend is the new Wigglytuff that came out from this set. So Wigglytuff has an active ability where it can heal once per turn an active Pokemon 20 health each turn. So I figured if we can base our deck around Beedrill and have Wigglytuff in the bench to kind of heal up Beedrill so it can keep digging out attacks, that would be great as well. So I'll go ahead and leave a deck list for you guys for what deck I'm planning to use for today's video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. And if you guys want to look at the deck list, you can pause the video or you can comment and request the deck list if you want information about this. Or if you have a deck list that you'd like to see me try out in the ranked battles, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Getting all the hourglasses, I was able to get this deck fully decked up. We're only Pokeball rank 2, so obviously I'm going to make some cuts throughout this. If I feel like I'm versing a bot, I'll just skip those battles because I don't feel like those would be pretty good to watch you guys have me play against. So I want to try and play against competitive people. So if I see a good deck that, does really well, that I feel like it's an actual person, then I'll go ahead and show it to you guys. So let's go ahead and let's see our first battle over here. Okay, not a bad opening hand. We do open up with Weedle, which is probably the best opening hand, with the Pokeball and a Professor's Oak, which is actually a pretty good start. Opening up against a Rotom with the Grass. Okay, I'm going to guess that this is a bot, so if I skip this battle, you know why. Okay, but we'll just play this battle anyway. So we've got 2 Pokeballs. We've got Jigglypuff and Weedle from that. We'll go ahead and use 2 Pokeballs and then add the Pokemon Research, and we get Wigglytuff and Kakuna, which is perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up the Weedle and the Jigglypuff on the bench to start prepping up to build our Beedrill on the next couple of turns. But then again, it might be an actual person. I'm not too sure, guys. Okay, Arceus. Okay, this must be a person. If they're playing Arceus with Rotom, I mean, I didn't see too many... and there's also a Carnivine. Okay, so... Wow. Oh, crap. Okay. And so this is exactly what I'm talking about. You don't know if it's an actual person or not, but because of that, we've just got surprised and lost our lead on our first go. So that is unfortunate because that now unfortunately takes out one half of our, or a couple of our cards, because now we've got one set of Kakunas and Beedrills that's going to be useless. So we'll go ahead and evolve our Weedle into Kakuna. We'll go ahead and evolve Wigglytuff. So we have our healer ready to go over there. Alright, let's go and use a String Shot. Let's hope we can get a Paralysis on this Carnivine. Because if we can, then it will definitely lock it in and it'll give us the guaranteed kill. And we do get the heads. Beautiful. Great job. Alright. So that Carnivine is now trapped unless it has the Pokemon Lady. That's the only way you can get out of it. So We seem to be in a pretty good position so far. Now, the only issue that we're going to have is if he starts building up that Arceus, which is going to be the problem. But, like I said to you guys, though, we do have Wigglytuff here. We do have Erica's, so we can kind of heal ourselves up. But unfortunately, we are going to get this here. And this could be another problem with the deck as well, is that because of Wigglytuff's high cost, unfortunately, we can't withdraw it. And, yeah, that makes this incredibly unfortunate because now it means we either have to waste energy putting it on Wigglytuff to withdraw, or we can just let it kill Wigglytuff, which is not ideally what you want to happen. But unfortunately, you know, this is why I wanted to have that extra Weedle, but we got surprised with that Rotom combination with Arceus and Carnivine, so that was pretty good prep on their part. So unfortunately, we're going to have to waste an energy on that onto a Wigglytuff. And we'll just hold off on our Kakuna for now. We won't reveal that we have Beedrill just yet. We'll just wait till they do some more plays, because with Wigglytuff's heal, we could probably heal it up and get it in a position where perhaps we could get it to go overpower Arceus. But the problem's going to be if he brings in Arceus on the next turn. Okay, we get another Jigglypuff. All right, that's not too bad. So, funny this was on the bench when we had the Sabrina happen, but unfortunately it didn't. So we're going to go ahead and use a comforting song. So we're going to go ahead and heal ourselves up. All right, so that's good. We'll now use a gentle slap to bring down the Carnivine down to 10 HP. Unfortunately, we don't have a Giovanni to kind of get that little nudge that we needed to get on it. But so far so good. I mean, we're probably going to lose Wigglytuff at this point, which is bad. But if he brings in Arceus right now, then this will be good. Okay, so he swaps into the other Carnivine, which is good for us because it's good Cyrus fodder for later. So if we can get around to keeping this under wraps, then this could work out for us. But at the same time, you know, we're kind of in a lurch as well. Ah, beautiful, a red, I love that. All right, so we'll go ahead and use Company Song. We'll heal ourselves up again to maximum health. And I think it's about time we bring out our Beedrill. So we'll swap into Kakuna. We'll go ahead and showcase our shiny Beedrill. And unfortunately, it's the only shiny Beedrill we got so far. And because he killed my Weedle, I can't show off the other one. So this should OHKO the Carnivine one hit, which it will do. So basically, if we can kill the Arceus or kill the Rotom and the Carnivine, then we have a guaranteed win here. So we'll see what this Arceus wants to do here. Because he could also combo this with Red himself. So if he has Red, then that could be a problem for us as well. So we'll see how we go. At the moment, we're doing probably maximum 100 damage, and that is with the Red. But as he combos with the Red, so we kind of predict this was going to be a thing. So we're going to lose a lot of health there. That's very unfortunate. Okay. And then we dead draw Kakuna. Okay. Little unfortunate. Okay. So I'm just trying to think what we can do here. Because if he has Cyrus, I basically lose. If I heal an Erica, that brings us up to 90, but that's still not going to do enough to kill the Arceus. So we may need to stall a turn. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Comforting Song on Beedrill. Then we'll go ahead and use an Erica to heal it up to 90. See, this is why I think the problem is that the Arceus got prepped. Like, this deck is pretty good. Unfortunately, because we wasted time, we couldn't really get around to, you know, doing too much. So I'm going to hope he doesn't have Cyrus and bring in the Jigglypuff to take a hit. So I'm going to go for a rollout. Get a little chip damage. I mean, it's some better than nothing, I guess. Actually, I probably should have gone for red, because then if I draw another red, I don't think I have two reds though, so I guess it wouldn't work. And he has Cyrus. You know what? That's it. That's it. I'm pretty much good. Okay. So like I said, either way, if he had Cyrus, I basically lose. So, you know, pretty fun deck with the Rotom and the Carnivine. Obviously, I got suckered into bringing out the Weedle because it just happened to just drop Rotom, which gets no retreat cost when it has Arceus in the field. So it's good if you're trying to surprise like Manaphy, I guess my Weedle as well. So, you know, kudos to this deck. So I'll give it a thanks and move on to the next battle. Let's hope that we can, you know, get a win at least one win this. I hate to think my first deck building video is going to be a showcase of one of the worst decks ever. You know what I mean? So level 41, so this should be an actual person. So first one we thought was a bot, turns out it wasn't. It was a legitimate deck and we just got trolled, so let's see how we go second time around. Okay, we're going first, so that can work for us, and we open up double Jigglypuff, which is, again, not ideal for this deck. So let's just play one Jigglypuff and let's see how we go in case we top communications. As he opens with Arceus with Steel. So this is another Arceus deck. Okay. But we do draw Weedle. Unfortunately, we didn't open it with it though. Alright, so let's go for a Professor's Research. Let's see what we can draw off this. Okay, another Weedle. Okay, so that's good. But one Weedle's all we really need. We don't need two more. So, okay. So we've got two Weedles. Alright. So we've got all of our basics, which means all of our Pokeballs are dead unless we can top deck our Pokemon Communication to put one of our Weedles back into the deck. But otherwise, yeah, this is not a good opening hand for this deck, to say the least. And he hasn't played any other cards, so unless he's just trying to bait me and not play basics until he's ready to drop an attack on me, or unless he's dead drawed as well with no basics, which... I mean, he could, but also they may just be trying to lure me into just doing nothing, I guess. But we'll see how we go. So there's a dead draw Pokeball. So fantastic, as I predicted. All right, so we'll go ahead and evolve to a Wigglytuff. All right, so we take down this Arceus. Okay, so it looks like he's just top decked a Dialga. So if he has Leaf, this could be a bit problematic because it means he can set up. But no, he's going to just keep putting onto Arceus. So, and he has the Shaman as well. Okay, this seems to be the Dialga Arceus deck with Shaman as support. So I guess good for you, but not good for me. Yeah, this is very unfortunate because all my evolutions are just not here. So, you know, I guess this deck does have a weakness that it takes a bit of build up. So, I mean, if you're going up against a deck that stalls, like Dragon decks, I guess it could work. But now we're going to see this get built up even more with Giant Cape. Not what you want to see, but oh boy, this is where Team Rocket Grunt would be really helpful right now. All right, so going to go for Professor's Research. Okay, we do top deck communication. We do top deck a Kakuna, which is good. But unfortunately, if I go to the attack with it, it's not going to do me any good because it's not affected by conditions. So it doesn't really make much of a difference. So in case we top deck Beedrill, I'll put the energy on Kakuna and I'll just try to whittle down the Arceus a little bit further because we just need to top deck Beedrill. That's the only way I can see us getting out of this right now is if we can top deck Beedrill. If we can top deck Beedrill, then we may have a chance to win from this. But if we don't, then there's a good chance we're probably going to lose this one. At this point in time, it looks like we're going to lose this one, but, you know, I guess we'll see how we go with this one here. So now it's going to be lined up to attack, kill my Jigglypuff, and we're basically forced to just gamble on our next draw. And unfortunately, that's what it's come down to, is that we have to literally bank on our next draw to be Beedrill. Otherwise, we have absolutely no chance of winning this battle. I would bring in Wigglytuff, but then Wigglytuff gets OHKO, so I guess it does give us another chance. But I guess that is better. It's just to give up the Wigglytuff, because otherwise, if I don't top deck Beedrill, the game is automatically over. Screw it, I'm just going to bring Kakuna and just hope I top deck it. That's the only way that's going to move forward. And what do you know? Here it is. Okay. So we'll go ahead, drop the Beedrill. Perfect. And look at that. With one draw, the entire game has turned on its head. Drop the red, so now we can do 100 damage. Dropping a massive spear. And taking away 1 health, so you know, 1 energy. So you know what now? We have Sabrina, we have Cyrus. We're pretty much lined up right now. I feel like now we're in a pretty good position right now to pretty much take this game from here. Because even if he swaps out Arceus right now, we can just Cyrus, bring it back into the fold. So I feel like we've definitely come back from behind to win this game, just with one draw. And that's the draw of the game, people. That's exactly what happens with this. So is he going to swap? Most likely he'll have to. Oh, he's going to bring... Oh, see, now I wish I would have played the Weedle. See, oh, this is the... Oh my gosh, dude, man. And this is what's so frustrating about this, is that I should have played the Weedle. I should have played the Weedle, but I was afraid of getting locked, but that's unfortunate, because now either Arceus kills, but then he's just basically trading. So he's either going to swap out and just set up Dialga to pretty much set back up the other Arceus, which I'm guessing that's what he's going to do. And basically, I'm giving him now time to do that. So that is very unfortunate that we didn't put down the Weedle. We probably should have. And here comes the Dialga, and he's going to put the energy on that and basically try to set up the second Arceus to basically get ready to go. Oh, that's very annoying. That's really annoying. And the thing is, I thought of that only after I ended my turn, and I could have prevented this from happening. And I dead draw another Pokeball, so that's just fantastic. Alright, so unfortunately we can't do much else. Playing Leaf wouldn't be necessary in this deck, but I guess now I can see a bit of validity in this. So he's now trying to heal up this Arceus to get over, you know, that health factor. So you're going to go ahead and use your Metallic Turbo, try to pump up the other Arceus to get it ready to go. But can we come back from this fail? Like, I misplayed by not playing Weedle. Okay, so we got the Erica, so that's not too bad. So now we'll go for Accompanying Song. Heal ourselves back up. Okay, so now we're going to go Withdraw. Bring back in the Beedrill. Now, I would Sabrina, but I feel like it would just bring in either the other... It would either bring in the Shaman. Well, I mean, hey, well... If it brings in the Shaman, I guess that would be good, because then we just Cyrus win the game. So you know what? I will do that. So he either brings in the Shaman to die, or he brings in the Arceus that's damaged to kill it. Or he wouldn't bring in the other Arceus because he's trying to prep it. So he would have to bring in the Shaman. So if he brings in Shaman, we win this game. Because then I kill the Shaman, I Cyrus next turn and kill. He does bring in the Arceus. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to put the Weedle now on the bench, which I probably should have done about 3 turns ago. So now you're basically just letting me damage this Arceus as well and bring it down to 1 health. So the only thing this is doing is he's letting his Arceus be able to set up again. So now they're both at 70. So he puts an Angie on Arceus. And then whatever Arceus he puts the Angie on, I can just Cyrus bring in to kill. So he's just going to go ahead and use Metallic Turbo on me. So I'm very curious to see where this goes. Because I'm like, if he swaps out to Dialga, which he's going to do now, and he's probably going to bring in the Arceus with the full health. Well, they're both at 70 damage. So, I mean, if I had 2 Cyruses, maybe I would win. But now he's going to basically set up one of these Arceuses. So the question is, which one? Okay. Now I'm just trying to deliberate what I should do here. So, I'm going to heal. That's the first thing I'm going to do, is heal myself back up again. Now, should I... I'm just trying to think. Should I just go and kill this... do damage to Dialga, because I'm just trying to think here. If I damage Dialga, it's in range next turn to be killed, but then Shaman will come up and bring it into just on point to be killed. And then the problem would be the Shaman healing it up, which is a problem. So it's very frustrating. It's really annoying, honestly. So should I Cyrus and kill the Arceus and kill it? But then he's going to prep the other one, and I'm back in the same position anyways, but I've just got the 1 Arceus to worry about. Look, just so he has to waste a turn to do that, I'm going to go ahead and Cyrus this and just try to get rid of it, because it's going to force him to waste a turn. So then he's only got one more out for this. So hopefully this pans out. If I could get a second Beedrill prepped in this meantime while this is happening, then I could possibly come back from this. So he's going to probably bring in Dialga so he can try to ramp up his Arceus again. That's the only thing he can only do this. This is the only move that he has. Unless I bring in Wigglytuff to whittle it down to range where Beedrill could kill. But then, so now Arceus is just on range to get killed. But if it lasts one more turn on the bench, it can now survive one hit, which I don't want. But I feel like it's going to happen though. So, oh, it's going to go for this move right now. Okay. He's going for glory. He's going to go for the kill. He's going to go for Metallic Turbo. He's putting it all basically on Dialga. He's going basically all in. Wow, okay. I did not see the Dawn play. But because he's done that, because I have Erica, I could actually survive another... Metallic Turbo. Oh, and look, it's a Pokemon Communication, which we could actually use to get our... We wanted this ages ago, but we got it now. Give us a Kakuna, please. Thank you. Alright, so we'll get a Kakuna lined up here. Now, we're going to use Comforting Song to bring it up to 80. And then we'll use an Erica to bring it over 130. So now it can survive another hit. So, at this point, it looks pretty good for us. So we'll go for another hit, bring it down to 70. Now, Shaman's going to heal and bring it Arceus to 90. So, actually, I forgot I had Dawn. That could be a real problem because... But then again, if he doesn't attack me next turn, I could just heal with Comforting Song and bring ourselves back over to range to get out of the Arceus kill range. Unless he has red. That's the only thing that's going to kill us, is if he has red. This has actually become a really good battle. I wasn't expecting this battle to be so, so back and forth, but it's a good showcase of this deck and what it can do. So I'm pretty happy with it. Another Dialga. Okay. So he's probably going to withdraw. He's going to heal. Okay. So now it can actually survive another hit. So he's probably going to go for now another Metallic Turbo because now it can survive another hit. Now, if he has Cyrus, I'm basically dead. But then again, he would have used it by... Actually, no, he would have used it because then he would have killed me. I'm guessing he's saving it for this moment where I could have, my Beedrill on the bench. So, let's see what happens here. Oh, he has Cyrus. He's going to use it now. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if I would have done that. I really don't think that was a good play. Because... And there's my second Beedrill ready to go. Okay. Okay, I'm very interested to see where this goes next. So now I've got my second Beedrill ready to go. So if he would have attacked me last turn, brought me down to 30, and I would have swapped into my other Beedrill here, he would have won next turn with Cyrus. But because he Cyrused, that was a misplay. I would not have done that. So that was a misplay on his part big time. But, like I said, I don't know what he's thinking when he was going through this. So maybe there was a good reason to do that. I've got about 2 cards left. I do know I have another Erica left. So if I can draw Erica next turn, that could make me feel a lot more comfortable on my next turn. So I haven't drawn that yet. So let's see what this Dialga wants to do here. Okay, he's going to withdraw. Okay. So the question is to what? So you can't do any attacks. Okay, so he's just going to bring in Dialga for... okay, he's going to put one energy on it. So he's used 2 leaves, so he can't Dawn. So maybe he's planning to Dawn on the next turn. And there is our last Erica. So, just to be on the safe side, I am going to Erica again to bring ourselves back to full health. And we now feel more comfortable in this position right now. Okay. Whew. My goodness, what a battle this has been. Okay, so he's used 2 leaps, so he can't do anything else. The only thing he could do is if he has Angie X speed, that's the last thing he can do, because he's used both his leaves. So we probably should have lost this battle, but because of that misplay, we're going to actually win this battle. And he has one card left. My guess is a potion, because he only used 1. So if he uses potion to try to survive another hit, that's the only thing he can do. That's left to do. Is that what he's going to go for? Because I know he used 1, but I don't think he's used the second one. TikTok, let's go. And there's the other potion. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. So he did have the last potion. I think he was deliberating whether to use it or not. And I think he's going to put the energy on the active Dialga so he can withdraw on the next turn for the Arceus. So he's basically just... He put it on the Arceus. Why would you put that on the Arceus? Unless you're going to Dawn. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, that's what he's going to do. He's going to Dawn it so that I don't take it off his Pokemon with my Beedrill's attack. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to Dawn the energy onto Arceus, onto Dialga, then put an energy on, and then he's going to swap into Arceus. He's basically stalling at this point. He can't win this battle at this point. He's used all his heals, and he can't bring in Dialga because he's used his leaf. So there's no way to withdraw it unless he drops energy, which he doesn't have, and my Beedrill will keep in check. So through a misplay from my opponent, I have won this battle. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes that's what happens in these battles. So putting another energy on the Arceus for some reason. And you can see. So there you go. Oh my goodness. My God. What a battle that was. Whew. All right. So that was the showcase of Beedrill. So like I said, we probably should have won this battle. But like I said, through, I guess, determination and just staying on top of our game here, we were able to beat this Dialga Arceus deck by, I guess, healing and burning its resources. So yay to us. You know, but like I said, he did misplay with that Cyrus though. If he would have hit my Beedrill, and then I would have swapped out, then he would have Cyrus, then he would have won. Because then he would have killed my Beedrill, get 2 points, and he would have won. So, you know, but that's just part of the game, guys. If you make a misplay like that, unfortunately, you do have to wear that. So, Just Smile, thanks for the battle, guy. I appreciate it. Alright, so we've lost one and we've won one. And now we'll go for one more battle for the end result of this deck to see whether it was good or not. And you guys leave a comment down below and tell me if you think that this is a good deck, if it's not a good deck. Level 50 person. Wow, okay. So on the same level as I am. So, okay. Very curious to see what this deck is. And we're going first. So, let's see what we open up with. Okay, double Jigglypuff again. Why do we always open up double Jigglypuff? That's twice. Giratina. Oh boy. And this is, I think, a perfect deck to face with this deck here. Okay, so we've got two Beedrills. So we've got our heads, but we don't have our legs, which is unfortunate. But we are going to draw one of them, which is our Weedle over here. So I guess that's good. But I guess going first against Giratina is good because you're not giving Giratina a turn to get a free energy. You know what I mean? Because regardless, they get one free turn of energy. So they actually want to go first. So for the first time, there's like a good deck that actually gets resources on the first turn through its ability. You know? Darkrai Giratina. Wow. Okay. This is going to be an interesting battle. And with Darkrai putting damage on our Pokemon, this is going to be an interesting battle, to say the least. Okay. And he's going to build up his Giratina on the bench. Okay, that is an interesting ploy. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and evolve my Kakuna. And most likely he's probably going to leaf the... Pokemon. So I'm not going to do any damage to this Giratina just because it would force my Kakuna to enter the field prematurely, and I don't want that to happen just yet. But unfortunately, we don't have Wigglytuff to kind of counteract the Darkrai, which is kind of one of the reasons why I like using Wigglytuff for this reason. And Okay, so we'll go ahead and use string shot. I'll put that there, and we'll go ahead and swap and put our other Jigglypuff in play. Okay. I feel like this is good because, like I said, we're just trying to stall at the moment till we can get Wigglytuff and get our healing engine back in play. Now, unfortunately, this is going to happen. Oh my goodness. All right. This can be good if we can get one Beedrill and one Wigglytuff. All right, there's a Wigglytuff. Now we have two Wigglytuffs. Actually, that actually isn't bad. That is actually not bad at all because now we've got two heals. So, on one hand, it's bad we lost our Beedrills, but on the other hand, it's not bad. But unfortunately, those Giratinas and Darkrai's are being lined up, and they're basically ready to go. So, if our opponent has Leaf, then basically we're screwed. Because then it means he can swap out his Giratina, and we're basically screwed. We can't really do anything. So, I'm going to put the energy on my Kakuna, and use Comforting Song to heal up Wigglytuff. And that's really all we can do right now. We can't really do anything else. But we do have Sabrina, so on the next turn, if I can draw Beedrill, then I can try to bring out one of those Pokemon and try to bring it down with Beedrill. So, you know, but unfortunately this Giratina has walled us and we did not open with Weedle. So, it does show a little bit of weakness on this deck that if you don't open with Weedle, then it's not going to do well. And, I mean, we're clearly seeing this right now. We are dead drawing to all hell. And it's not looking good for us. Not good at all. So, I'm going to end my turn once again. Okay. And, yeah, this game doesn't look really good, guys. And there's a leaf I was worried about that was going to happen here. So, you know, you can obviously see some weaknesses of this deck, clearly. In the fact that, like I said, if you don't open with Weedle, if you can't build Beedrill quickly, and you let your opponent build resources like this, then you're not going to have a fun time, which is what I'm not having fun with right now. So, and again, with the Rocky Helmet, oh, get lost, dude, stop. And there's Druddigon, just for good measure. If I can't draw Beedrill, I'm basically just going to give up this game because I don't feel like we can really win this game right now. And this was just a really bad hand. And yep, I'm going to just concede this game because I don't see us winning this game at all. So I'm not going to waste my time on this one. So, like I said, it can be good. It can be bad. You know, you saw that against long game, it can do pretty well if you have healing and you have all that working play with you. But if you don't draw those cards at the very beginning, then as you can see, it struggles against decks that can build their own resources like Magnezone, like Giratina. So, you know, a bit of RNG, but then again, that's like, you know, most decks that you kind of encounter in Pokemon Pocket. So, 2 losses, 1 win, not the best showcase for it, but, you know, like I said, hopefully you guys still enjoyed the video anyways and got to see what Beedrill can do. So, if you want to try it out, let me know how you go with it, if you went well. If you have any suggestions on how you can make this deck better, please leave a comment down below. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you click the like button down below because, as always, your support is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned for the next video of Pokemon Pocket and with a different deck in tow, and hopefully I'm higher ranked up when you guys see me in the next video. So until next time, I see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, stay sharp, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.